LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. That single line absolutely broke basketball Twitter, but the massive fallout had fans arguing all night long. Kevin Durant didn't stay quiet either. He jumped straight into the fire, and his take has the entire league split right down the middle. Let's look at the facts. The contract ink isn't even dry yet, and Durant is already standing right in the center of the storm. Durant hit social media to react to LeBron joining the Philadelphia Sixers, and he definitely didn't keep it low-key. He went straight into the comments section, right where fans were already tearing LeBron apart. Here's how it went down. LeBron instantly became the biggest story in sports after announcing he's heading to Philly for the 2026 to 2027 season, and it wasn't quiet. The King made it clear he's hunting another championship, which immediately brought out the haters, calling him a shameless ring chaser. That's exactly when Durant stepped in to shut it down. That level of online hate, he wasn't letting it slide. He took to threads to fire back at critics, defending LeBron as a true basketball icon and calling him a top 5 player ever, dismissing the toxic fan comments like they didn't even matter. His actual post laid it out pretty clearly. People are way too emotional about this. He pointed out that LeBron's choices don't affect their lives, and fan opinions won't ever erase his greatness on the court. Durant also emphasized that these critics don't even know LeBron personally, yet they still carry so much real negativity toward him anyway. Why does this hit so hard? Because this isn't just some random player talking. This is Kevin Durant, a guy who's been labeled a ring chaser for years. Defending another legendary superstar getting blasted with the exact same accusation, that changes the entire dynamic. But Durant wasn't riding solo here. His former Warriors teammate Draymond Green quickly jumped into the mix too. Draymond reacted after Durant fired back at a fan who claimed LeBron taking a massive discount was disrespectful to the Lakers fan base. One fan posted that LeBron signing an $8 million deal was a total slap in the face, and Durant shot back, "Your face will heal at some point." That savage line went viral, and Draymond made sure to chime in too. Then things took a wild turn. Bryce Harper entered the chat. Yes, the baseball superstar. Philadelphia was already absolutely buzzing, and Harper spoke to reporters before a Yankees game about the historic signing. He showed massive respect, calling LeBron one of the greatest athletes ever and saying the city's completely electric right now. Obviously, he's one of the greatest ever to do it, Harper said before Friday's game against the Yankees. Keeping it real, Harper highlighted how LeBron has dominated for years and noted that all of Philly is totally fired up. Harper even questioned how any sports fan couldn't be excited with a global icon like LeBron James joining the city. The baseball star even wondered if this massive move would impact Philly the same way his own signing did. Think about it. Durant defending LeBron online, Draymond reacting from the sidelines, and Bryce Harper fueling the local hype. That's 3 completely different corners of the sports universe all locked in on one monumental signing. Let's look at what actually sparked the explosion. LeBron joining the Sixers on such a team-friendly deal didn't just grab headlines, it ignited a massive debate across the NBA. And Durant wasn't buying the criticism for a second. The real trigger was the contract structure. Durant stepped in when a fan bashed LeBron for signing a 2-year, $8 million veteran minimum deal, calling it disrespectful to Lakers fans. Think about that $8 million over 2 years for the greatest scorer in NBA history. This wasn't about the money. This was about rings, and that's exactly why the entire internet went absolutely wild. But it didn't stop there. Once the financial shock wore off, fans pivoted straight to legacy debates, and things got incredibly personal. Haters immediately stacked LeBron against Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, praising franchise loyalty just to take cheap shots at his latest move. And right there, that's the lazy comparison Durant refused to let slide. He didn't hold back on threads, targeting everyone making those Jordan and Kobe arguments. Durant made it clear opinions aren't facts. He told critics to stop stressing about the narratives of online haters and just watch the actual games like they always planned to. Then he dropped a truth bomb, stating that everybody in the NBA is chasing something, whether it's rings, shots, or money. You just have to pick one. That perspective says everything about his mindset. Durant isn't just backing LeBron James. He is defending this entire modern era of player empowerment. The very era he helped build when he left Oklahoma City for Golden State. And that's exactly why this moment feels so loud. None of this was a fluke. It erupted right after one of the absolute wildest free agency periods this league has ever witnessed. LeBron James had the whole basketball world on edge, tracking his every move to see where the king would land. To understand why Kevin Durant finally spoke out, we have to look back. Weeks prior, LeBron's next team was a total mystery. Not the fans, not the media insiders, not even top-level league executives. And Philadelphia? They were not even a whisper in those early rumors. Everything shifted in early July, right after the Sixers pulled off a massive blockbuster trade for superstar wing Jaylen Brown. They crashed the LeBron sweepstakes. According to league sources speaking with ESPN's Shams Charania, Philly immediately launched an aggressive pitch to sign him. That trade by itself shook the entire NBA landscape. Philadelphia went all in, sending veteran wing Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-rounders to the Boston Celtics to secure Jaylen Brown. This was no ordinary acquisition. Brown was coming off a 6th-place finish in MVP voting, averaging 28 points, 7 points, 6.9 boards, and 5.1 assists in 71 games. So, before anyone even linked LeBron to Philly, the front office had completely remade the roster for a title run. Overnight, the Sixers went from complete afterthought to a major player in the LeBron sweepstakes. But they were far from the only threat. The Golden State Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Miami Heat were all actively pushing to sign him. Entering his 23rd NBA season, LeBron refused to be rushed. He took his time, and that slow play approach drove the entire league mad. His longtime agent, Rich Paul, made it clear they would not be hurried. Appearing on a podcast, he stated bluntly that nobody could dictate their timeline. This was LeBron's decision, and he would make it on his own terms. Paul talked about getting non-stop phone calls from executives asking if they could do anything to speed up his choice. His response never changed. No. There was absolutely no need for anyone to do anything extra. That quiet confidence only fueled the media circus. Fans panicked during the wait, and crazy rumors flooded the internet. According to Charania, the race was down to 3 teams, the Cavaliers, Heat, and Sixers. Cleveland was the emotional choice. It was home. LeBron spent 11 seasons there and delivered their historic first-ever championship back in 2016. Miami offered South Beach history and proven championship success. But Philadelphia was the ultimate wild card in this race. No one saw them coming until the Jaylen Brown blockbuster flipped the board. Behind closed doors, Philly was putting in massive work. Mike Gansey, the team's newly hired president, was not hiding their pursuit. He told reporters straight up that the front office contacted Rich Paul the exact second the Jaylen Brown trade was finalized. He admitted that LeBron's camp kept quiet, even as wild rumors circled around other competing teams. Still, Gansey made it clear Philadelphia wanted him badly, and he did not hold back his praise for LeBron either. He called him the greatest player of all time, at least in his eyes. That respect came from a deep personal connection. Their relationship goes way back. Gansey is not just some corporate suit. He is an Ohio hoop legend with deep ties to James. Both of them came up in that basketball-obsessed state, chasing the exact same spotlight. In fact, during high school, Gansey finished runner-up to LeBron in Ohio's Mr. Basketball voting. That history is impossible to ignore. In the end, that deep personal connection ended up mattering far more than outsiders ever realized. And he was not the only Sixer with deep ties to LeBron. Star guard Tyrese Maxey had built a strong bond with him during grueling summer workouts, grinding together in the offseason. Then there was Joel Embiid, the dominant 7-time All-Star, who won Olympic gold alongside LeBron with Team USA in 2024. So, during free agency meetings, LeBron was not walking into a room full of strangers. He walked in already knowing the culture. These were brothers he trained with, battled against, and in Embiid's case, won gold with. You cannot fake that kind of chemistry. Then came the Friday that shook the basketball world. ESPN's Shams Charania broke the news LeBron was signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal containing a player option. The announcement did not feel like business. It felt deeply personal. LeBron shared the news himself, and it hit much differently. He admitted that after last season, he seriously considered retiring. He was not ready to announce it, but the thought was real. He needed time, real, quiet time, to find out if the passion was still burning inside him. And when he finally opened up, you could feel just how close he came to walking away forever. He insisted he meant it when he told reporters he had to look inward and see if that fire was still burning. After sitting with the decision, really letting it sink in, he realized something massive. The superstar is not done yet. There is still plenty left in the tank. That is a totally different vibe than just chasing another payday. It is the exact energy Kevin Durant later defended when critics tried to twist the decision into something cheap. LeBron did not just talk about himself. He paid respect to every city that shaped his path. He thanked Los Angeles, promised Miami would always have a special place in his heart, while making sure everyone knew Northeast Ohio is forever home. 3 distinct chapters of his career respected. Just like that, he shifted to a new city, and Philly wasted 0 time getting hyped. The reaction was massive. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro went so far as declaring the day of the announcement LeBron James Day statewide. Think about that. A sitting governor altered a state calendar because of one free agency signing. That is how massive this felt in Philly. But not everyone was celebrating. One massive question still remained. Bronny James. Most fans assumed LeBron's son would follow his dad to whatever franchise he chose next. But when Philadelphia became the destination, that dream shattered. It suddenly looked highly unlikely they would share the floor next season, mostly due to roster realities. Even with LeBron taking a pay cut, the Sixers had a tight roster and had to clear serious cap space to make everything work. Plus, reports claimed the Lakers actually liked Bronny and intended to keep him. So, right in the heart of this crazy hype, real tension simmered. A father and son who already made history sharing an NBA floor, now facing the very real possibility of playing on opposite sides. That dynamic alone kept the internet in a frenzy. It added a dramatic layer to the discourse, drawing everyone into the debate and eventually right into Kevin Durant's crosshairs. Once the deal went official, the hype did not settle. It got incredibly messy. Initial shock quickly devolved into a bitter debate over what this jump actually does to LeBron's legacy. That is exactly when Durant stepped in. The moment the initial buzz quieted, the backlash grew louder. Fans were not just questioning the decision, they called it beneath him. That is a different level of pure disrespect. Much of it went back to the tired old argument, comparing LeBron to icons like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, stars synonymous with a single franchise. The comparison flooded social media. Different accounts, different platforms, but the exact same narrative on repeat. Then someone took it a step further. They floated a wild hypothetical. What if Michael Jordan had teamed up with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal in the early 2000s just to stack up rings? It was a simple premise. A move like that would have completely ruined Jordan's legacy. But Durant shut that logic down, saying that scenario would have been legendary, must-watch television. He exposed the ultimate contradiction, fans pretending they would hate it when they know they would be glued to the screen. That is Durant's main angle here. He does not deny LeBron swapped jerseys again. Instead, he is challenging the entire core belief that changing teams is somehow shameful, and he absolutely did not stop there. Durant dug in even deeper, defending LeBron's massive body of work from haters trying to reduce his greatness to a single transaction. He fired back at the trolls, arguing that LeBron basically embodies the entire sport of basketball. The superstar completely rejected the narrative that sticking with one franchise is the only path to greatness. Instead, Durant argued icons like Jordan and Kobe spent over 15 years pouring their souls into the sport and culture, showing that different journeys can have the exact same impact. Frame it like that, and the entire debate shifts. Durant was not finished taking it up a notch. This is where his response got razor sharp. He made it clear that the constant outside chatter does not even faze him. He understands why spectators see it differently, but actually living that high-pressure life changes the entire equation. That is Durant pulling rank in the most direct way possible, reminding everyone he was in those actual battles. He has clashed with LeBron, chased MVP trophies, and shared elite all-star locker rooms. That firsthand experience gives his perspective a weight that a random internet comment could never match. Naturally, the ensuing back and forth with fans got incredibly heated. One critic accused Durant of working overtime just to shield LeBron from criticism. Durant did not dodge it, he leaned straight into the fight. He fired back, saying LeBron switching franchises does not stop anyone else from eating. It does not stall anyone else's career, and fan opinions cannot erase what LeBron has already achieved on court. Then he got blunt. When someone claimed LeBron lacked humility, Durant shut it down fast. He told them straight up they don't know the guy personally, but they're still walking around harboring real negativity toward him. Here's where things get interesting. When you actually break it down, the whole ring-chasing argument completely falls apart. The 76ers weren't even a top 5 title favorite before LeBron showed up. So, calling him a ring chaser for joining Philly just doesn't really add up. That label would make more sense if he joined a stacked roster like the Thunder, Spurs, or Knicks, but Philly wasn't that at all. This was a franchise still trying to build something. They had just traded away Paul George and multiple picks to even get in this position. LeBron didn't walk into a finished product. He stepped right into a work in progress, and that's a massive difference. Durant understands that dynamic better than anyone because he's been dealing with that exact same label for years. Go back to 2016 when he left Oklahoma City to join Golden State. The narrative hit instantly ring chaser, and it never really left him, no matter how many championships or finals MVPs he stacked up afterward. So, when he sees LeBron getting hit with that exact same criticism in a situation that doesn't even match the definition, it hits close to home. He wasn't staying quiet. He wasn't about to let people boil LeBron's legendary career down to just one single decision. He made that clear in every single reply, comment, and post. He stood on business the whole time, but let's be real. Not everyone was against the move, though. The reaction was deeply split, and in Philadelphia, it was nothing but pure excitement. Fans were incredibly hyped, the city was alive, and that electric energy spread from packed local sports bars all the way to front offices. Everything Bryce Harper said about the city absolutely buzzing was completely real. This wasn't manufactured hype. This was a loyal fan base that had been waiting years to feel like a true championship contender again. Suddenly, the biggest name in basketball walks right through the door. That changes everything. But outside of Philly, different story. Plenty of fans around the league weren't buying it. They saw a 41-year-old and wondered, no matter how great he is, can he really turn a franchise into a champion overnight? That lingering doubt kept the debates alive and the arguments going nonstop. Durant kept getting dragged right back into the fire. Thread after thread, night after night, the conversation just wouldn't die. By this point, it was clear Durant wasn't just defending LeBron the player. He was defending an entire mindset, backing the idea that in today's league, moving teams isn't some ultimate betrayal. Chasing a championship late in your career doesn't require an apology. But to really understand why he's so locked in, you have to look at his own journey. Because this hits way deeper for him. What makes Durant's defense stand out is actually pretty simple. He's lived this exact scenario. Go back to 2016. He had just finished a deep playoff run with Oklahoma City, pushing a 73-win Warriors team to 7 games. Most fans assumed he'd run it back. Instead, he made a move that absolutely shocked the basketball world. He walked away to join the very same Warriors squad that had just eliminated him. And just like that, the label was locked in. Ring chaser. It didn't matter what happened next. 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs couldn't change how people framed his legacy. That narrative was locked in before he ever played a single second in a Golden State jersey, and that's exactly why his defense of LeBron feels different. It's not some detached outside opinion, it's someone speaking directly from experience. When Durant says everyone in the league is chasing something, rings, shots, or money that's not just theory, that's him reflecting on everything he's dealt with for the past decade. Every harsh comment, every mention, and every take from people who never had to make those high-stakes decisions themselves. That's what's truly driving this defense, and it's why he's not backing down an inch. Now Durant is 37, playing for the Houston Rockets, and still hearing the same old noise every time he switches teams. So when that exact same script got pulled out again, this time aimed at LeBron, a 41-year-old legend taking a massive pay cut just to chase ring number 4 with a 4th franchise, Durant recognized the pattern immediately. He didn't even hesitate. He jumped right into the fire before anyone could ask if it was even his fight. There's another layer to this too. Durant and LeBron aren't just stars, they're 2 of maybe a handful of players ever discussed in that ultimate top 5 of all time conversation. So, when critics hit LeBron with the argument that he should have stayed loyal to one franchise, it's not just about him. That is a shot at the entire modern era, an era built on player, empowerment, major agency, and stars controlling their own destinies. An era Durant helped shape in 2016 and one LeBron kicked off even earlier with his historic move from Cleveland to Miami in 2010. That's what's truly driving Durant's relentless responses. He's not just sticking up for LeBron for one offseason. He's protecting the whole player empowerment system that shaped both of their historic careers. Fluid, player-driven, completely free from that old-school belief that a superstar must stick with one franchise forever. And remember, they've shared the court before. LeBron and Durant won gold together for Team USA, representing something far bigger than any individual NBA franchise. That kind of history runs deep. When you've battled together at that elite level, it cuts differently when critics try to shrink a 23-year legacy down to a single contract. That contract number that's the specific figure critics kept throwing around. $8 million over 2 years for one of the greatest players ever. Haters tried to paint it as desperation, claiming LeBron was scrambling for any roster spot left. But Durant shut that whole argument down. He pointed out the obvious truth: if LeBron actually prioritized cash, he could have secured a massive payday somewhere else. That low number doesn't scream panic, it screams sacrifice. And there's crucial context behind it. Taking that vet minimum deal gave Philadelphia room to keep stars like Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown. So it wasn't just about LeBron sacrificing money, it was about building a powerhouse. That's not a guy chasing a paycheck. That's a legend securing his best possible shot at another championship run, even if it cost him millions. And Philly didn't stop there. They kept upgrading, adding Anthony Simons and Dean Wade, while holding on to top rookie VJ Edgecombe. Every move had a clear purpose, clear space, keep talent. They wanted to build a real contender, not just slap LeBron's name on a jersey to sell tickets. This was about assembling a roster that could actually win. And LeBron himself made sure everybody understood that. His private reasoning perfectly matched what ESPN's Shams Charania reported. This wasn't about money. At 41, his focus remained on exactly one thing: winning. He believed Philadelphia gave him the absolute best shot at another championship, and he was ready to fully embrace a tough new fan base. That's the exact mindset Durant wanted the public to grasp, because in his eyes, this move does zero damage to LeBron's legacy. You have a legendary Hall of Famer choosing raw competition over personal comfort and prioritizing wins over paychecks, yet he still gets dragged for it. That double standard is why Durant stayed locked into those intense debates. A star taking less money to try to win more, somehow getting painted as the villain of his own story. That core irony kept the replies coming, thread after thread, argument after argument. And the noise won't slow down. Once the games actually start, all that online chatter transforms into real tension on the court. So, where does this leave things heading into a season that basketball fans are already watching like crazy? This isn't just another season. It feels completely different. Let's start with the obvious. Durant and LeBron will share the court again, and this time, every single matchup will hit differently after all the online drama from the past few weeks. The next time Kevin Durant shares a court with LeBron James, it's not just basketball. LeBron's got the entire passionate energy of Philadelphia riding with him now. What used to be a fierce, legacy-defining rivalry has shifted into something much deeper mutual respect. That's a massive shift for two icons who spent over a decade getting compared, debated, and dragged into endless greatest-of-all-time arguments. But look at them now. Instead of chasing easy headlines by taking shots at LeBron, Durant is actively defending him in public. That speaks volumes. Then you look at the actual roster. Philadelphia didn't just add pieces, they constructed a terrifying contender. You've got a healthy Joel Embiid, who remains an absolute force down low. Plus, Tyrese Maxey already built great on-court chemistry from off-season workouts with LeBron. Then you add Jaylen Brown, brought in to make this championship vision a reality. Now LeBron joins the mix, not even earning the most money on the team, yet carrying the most historic resume in franchise history. That's a dangerous combination. But a few massive questions remain, especially with the Bronny situation still unresolved. They already made history as the first father and son duo on an NBA court, but that narrative might be on pause. Reports suggest the Lakers are determined to keep him, making a Philadelphia reunion nearly impossible under their current roster limits. So that speculation won't fade. The second training camp starts, reporters will be asking about it immediately. Then consider the city of Philadelphia itself. They didn't just accept LeBron, they fully embraced him. A local governor literally declaring LeBron James Day is not normal. But that's exactly what happens when a city feels a championship is finally within reach. But belief and reality are two very different things. Once the games start, all that offseason hype has to translate to the floor. One thing is obvious, Durant didn't just drop a few comments and disappear. He stayed right in the mud, replying, debating, and going back and forth with people who have zero connection to his career. That's what makes this story hit so much harder, because KD didn't have to say a single word. He could have easily tuned it out like almost every other superstar in the league. Instead, he stepped right into the noise to take some of that heat himself. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just that LeBron made another massive move at 41, not just that fans went crazy arguing about loyalty and legacy, but that one of his fiercest rivals, someone who has taken those exact same shots for years, looked at the situation and called it unfair. He didn't just say it once either. He kept repeating it loud, proud, and with zero hesitation. So now, everything shifts to what comes next. Once the 76ers finally hit the hardwood, all that talk has to turn into real wins. Can this roster actually live up to the massive hype? Can LeBron really secure a ring with a fourth different franchise? Could we even see Durant and LeBron collide in the postseason, settling all these endless debates on the court where it actually matters? That's what the entire basketball world is waiting on, but no matter how it plays out, this summer's drama is locked in. A city completely shut down to celebrate a single signing, while a front office flipped their entire roster to land a legend. And when the critics piled on, LeBron didn't have to face the heat alone. Kevin Durant stepped up, and now the entire NBA is waiting for tip-off. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to show some love, subscribe, and share this with anyone else following this crazy story. Tell us in the comments, was this the right move for LeBron or a massive mistake? Keep it locked. See you on the next breakdown.